Finn's breathing became slightly rough. Alright, freak. But I mean, you know, same. Hello, and welcome to day 1 of Reserved Table. This is a Yandere monster dating sim in which your roommate Amber has gone missing. Desperate to find her, you become hired at her workplace as a new employee and are assigned to interview 2 obsessive and dangerous monsters. Both of them are threatening in their own way and they both seem very interested in you. However, to guarantee your safety, you should be careful of how you respond. Let's get started. Input your name. Yandere. Please select your pronouns. She, her. Alright, let's go. It's been 4 days since the best friend that I considered family disappeared. The last time I saw Amber, she said these words to me. If I don't come back after work today, just assume something happened to me. Well, that's not ominous at all. I laughed, thinking that was a joke. Because from the time we grew up together in the orphanage, she always made jokes like that. It wasn't long before I realized that it wasn't a joke. I immediately answered my phone as soon as it rang. Hello? This is Detective Harrison. Yes? Do you have any information about what happened to my friend Amber? Unfortunately, no. We don't have any good news. As of now, your friend Amber Hayes' missing person case has been classified as a runaway. The investigation has officially been closed. What? A runaway? What are you trying to say? According to our records, there were numerous times in the past year that she didn't return home. Why are you suddenly bringing this up? I'm currently aware of the fact that you were Amber's housemate. I could imagine that living together as roommates for a long time could make someone frustrated and desire escape. Wait, what? I'm telling you to refrain from reporting this kind of situation. What? That time I wasn't running away, it was a trip. I was working at the time and didn't know what Detective Harrison cut me off. It doesn't matter if she was running away or if it was just a trip. Adults running away from home are not considered to be a crime-related case. There's no reason to ignore our more important cases with the case of a grown adult just leaving home. Detective, please, I know something must have happened. This is a very incompetent detective. There was no reason for Amber to just up and disappear. Isn't it possible to check just one more time? I don't have the authority on that. That'll be all. What the hell? You ate her! The phone disconnected and I threw it roughly in the direction of the sofa. Liana, who had gone and came back with the mail, had overheard what happened. You okay? Not at all. Oh, those police bastards. Would they treat the situation like this if it was their own family? I felt all sense of rationality collapse around me. I felt a headache coming on and pressed my hand against my head. Liana held up an envelope and passed it to me. Wait a minute, have a look at this. It was mailed to our address. It's a document from Amber's office. My eyes shoot open in surprise. I opened the envelope and checked the contents. The resignation process is possible after a face-to-face meeting. HR department. Seems like Amber was trying to quit her job. This is also strange. The timing of her quitting her job and disappearance just doesn't add up. Was something going on at the company? I also have my suspicions about the company too. Not only that, but I know for a fact that we reported to the police multiple times, using the case as a simple runaway situation on top of ignoring our reporting of her being missing. It feels like they're avoiding investigating on purpose. While scanning the documents, I suddenly notice a submission date at the bottom. What is this? Take a look at the rejected resignation letter. The date of the submission is odd. Amber disappeared 4 days ago, but her resignation submission date is from yesterday. Not only that, but the date of the rejection letter is from today. I scanned over the documents a bit more. I discovered another strange document included among the papers. Guidance for urgent recruitment of alternate personnel following non-fulfillment of resignation transition. In this facility is a special management area. Immediate replacement is required for system protection. Due to unauthorized absence of the previous person in charge, emergency recruitment is underway. Is this saying that they're rejecting Amber's resignation while simultaneously trying to recruit a replacement? Liana's expression hardened as she looked over the documents with me. Wait, turn over the document and look at the back. I turned the document over and checked it. The back had Yandere written on her as a roommate. Suddenly a shiver ran down my spine. This was specifically said to me. Have you ever told this company your name? No, never. I never even knew what kind of company it was. Did Amber tell them? There was no real reason for her to tell them. She hated people knowing about her private life, especially when it came to us and our information. This doesn't seem like a mistake. This seems like some kind of trap set up for me. And I'm gonna take the trap anyway. I picked up my phone again and dialed the number on the notice. What are you trying to do? I think I have to go to this place. What? It's obvious it's some kind of trap. I mean, she's not wrong. It's obviously a trap and that's why I have to go. Looking at the strange dates on this document, I'm certain it's fabricated. Feels like Amber is trapped there and signaling for me to come. Reporting to the police, everything we could have done, we've already tried. If the police aren't going to do anything about it, then I am. Not only that, I need to know just how much these bastards know about me. Liana's face contorted into a frown. And what if while you're doing that you disappear too? I mean, that is a possibility. I promise. If the situation becomes dangerous, then I'll get out of there. Just trust me. If I even can. I can't sit back like this while Amber is missing. I applied for the job position using the phone number written on the sheet. The response was fast, and a facility address was sent to my phone. There was no interview and no screening of my documents at all. I'm guessing they don't want to miss a chance to trap me. The company Amber worked for was a special facility. It was a company that quarantines and manages special monsters. Aside from pets and labor monsters, what other non-humans are there? It's a research facility, but that didn't matter regardless. Whether it's a disappearance or even a death, I have a strong feeling that this company has played a part in Amber's disappearance. Hello? Are you Amber's replacement Yandere? The voice behind me brought me back to my senses. I turned around to see a woman wearing glasses standing behind me. I noticed her lab coat and the severely dark circles under her eyes. Yes, my name is Yandere. It seems you come right on time. My name is Maya and I'm the team leader here. I will be the one showing you around today, so please follow me. She began walking ahead and motioned for me to follow. We were worried when Amber suddenly quit, but thankfully a replacement came right away. This will be your seat. Maya showed me where the office was and where my desk would be. This is the previous team member, Amber's seat. I prepared some documents and explain your job position. Please have a look. I got hired so easily. The task you must complete every day will be delivered as a paper file to your desk. Good luck to you. Maya only gave me that short explanation and left. Everything was explained to me very briefly, but I took it as an opportunity. It lets me investigate what's going on more freely. As soon as she left, I began investigating my desk for any clues or hints about Amber's disappearance. Check the cabinet. Oh, Jesus. I checked the cabinet next to me. I peeked inside the first drawer and there was an unknown device. What is this? It had a button the size of 2 fingers. We should press that button. I scanned the item more and discovered some writing on it. In case of emergency, press this button. I was so shocked by the writing that I almost dropped it. This was Amber's handwriting. Is this a clue Amber left behind? I was worried someone would find the device, so I quickly put it in my pocket. To avoid suspicion, I hid it in my pocket and decided to inspect it later. Check the desk. On top of the desk there were documents, a clipboard, an employee keycard, and a pen. It seems like it was all prepared for me. On the employee keycard there was an employee number. There was a label covering up a previously printed name. The label had my name written on it. I slightly scratched at the label to check underneath and I saw Amber's name was there. It seemed like the employee keycard had other functions as well. There was a magnetic strip on the back, similar to a credit card. Check the documents. I checked the documents on top of the desk. On the first document, there was an explanation on my job position and a list of company regulations. I turned to the next page and there were profiles of the monsters I was in charge of handling. What should I look for? Look at the work guide. After calling into work, register your employee number into the database. Work commences after the employee has entered the quarantine room. The what? The quarantine room will be locked until work has been successfully completed. In case of entry, exit or blockage of the quarantine room, use the employee keycard can be used. After cataloging the monster's interview by hand, input the data into the computer. Examine the company regulations. Use of electronic devices while working is forbidden. All electronic devices must be handed in before the start of your shift. Violation of the above rules will result in immediate disciplinary action. Look at the assigned monsters' profiles. As soon as I looked at the profile documents, I felt something was off. The profile documents were printed in a different font than the other documents. I checked the first profile. Number 0413, codename Jack. Rank extremely dangerous, do not approach. I'm gonna approach him. Height 7'1". Exterior resembling a human male. Interview objective, teach the monster human emotions and study its emotions. Forbidden, giving permission or consent to the monster. What? I'm gonna do it anyway. This monster is polite but intelligent and adept at manipulating humans. If you lose your self-control, you will be classified as prey. I checked the next monster's profile too. Number 0532, codename Finn. Rank, highly dangerous, do not approach. Are they all highly dangerous? Height, 7 foot, exterior resembling a human male. Also teaching it emotions. Forbidden, respectful or caring personality. What? I don't want to be mean. Monster is polite but is intelligent and adept at manipulating humans. Uses insults and displays contempt. Woohoo! I'm a sick freak. Examine company regulations. Use of electronic devices while working is forbidden. All devices must be handed in before the start of your shift. Violation of the above rules will result in immediate disciplinary action. What the hell? Well, check the computer. I turned on the computer and looked through the files. Since it was Amber's seat, I thought there might be some sort of clues left behind. However, there was nothing to be found on the computer. I went through the company's databases and searched Amber's name. Of course, nothing came up. It was as if every trace of Amber had been erased. After looking at everything, I moved my gaze to the computer. I input my employee number into the system to start my shift. Seems that Amber's computer, duties and everything else have not changed. I haven't found any definitive clues, but the main monsters are still left to investigate. I wondered if by talking to them, I could get more information about what happened to Amber. I took the things I needed and stood up from my seat. As I picked up the white research gown that had been hanging on the back of the chair, I put it on. My heart felt heavy. Even the gown I had put on had a heavy weight to it. They said we can't bring electronic devices in here, but just in case, I decided to take my phone with me. I put my phone on silent and put it deep inside my pocket. Which monster should I take a look at first? Go to Finn or go to Jack? We'll go to Finn. I decided to check on Finn first. I checked the map roughly sketched on the memo in my pile of documents. The way to Finn's quarantine room wasn't complicated. I found it easier than expected. I stood in front of the door with Finn's name on it and took out my employee keycard. The door looked huge and extremely heavy. I'm sure Finn's also huge and extremely heavy. Imagine if I got locked inside and there would be no way to open it from the inside with my strength alone. Yeah, imagine, haha. I'm sure that's gonna happen. I tapped my employee keycard against the sensor and I heard the security lock open. The door opened rather softly compared to how intimidating it looked. I checked inside the quarantine room. Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure's all right, you're so cute. Look at its waist. As soon as I entered the room, I was greeted by an unexpected scent. Did he fart? It was a scent of an herbal tea. Oh, Finn was drinking a cup of tea inside the quarantine room. Having tea time in the quarantine room, I got goosebumps at the odd sight of it. My name is Finn, he added when he noticed my hesitation. It's gonna get uncomfortable standing like that. Please, come and have a seat. Compared to his large frame, his voice was friendly and docile. At his suggestion, I walked over and sat in the chair in front of him. My eyes move along the top of the table and stop at the teacup. 2 cups of tea were prepared, as if he knew to prepare it for me from the start. Did you prepare this for me? Of course. You are my precious guest, after all. With skilled hands, Finn poured a cup of tea and placed it in front of me. Everyone knows that you shouldn't take a drink offered by someone you don't know. Even more so when the person doing the pouring is an unfamiliar monster. And at tea time, and at a time and location that didn't match the situation for drinking tea. Are you asking me to drink tea here? How can a quarantine monster like you even get tea in the first place? He looked as if he couldn't hide his emotions. His eyes darted left and right and he looked embarrassed at the fact that he couldn't answer. I asked for it when I was being offered a meal. He answered the question, but it didn't satisfy my suspicions. The treatment is good here. That's unexpected. I thought this was kind of a prison. Isn't it ironic how they give you your favorite foods but don't provide you with a bed or toilet? If I were to end up here, I feel like it'd be even more terrible than a prison. There's not even any basic furniture. This quarantine room only has a table and chair for conducting interviews. Even if he's not a human, shouldn't he have access to basic necessities? Anyway, there was no reason to drink his tea. It's too suspicious. It's not a jail. It's a completely different kind of place. He didn't seem like he wanted to clarify about the lack of bed and toilet. Wait, does he not pee? He was treating me rather nicely, but I still couldn't trust him. He seemed to notice that I wasn't drinking the tea, so he drank it first. He was trying to show me that the tea wasn't poison. I will enjoy my tea before we have our interview. It's just something I wanted to prepare for you. You don't have to drink it if you don't want to. As monsters go, he sure has some sophisticated hobbies. What kind of tea is this? It's chamomile tea. It's good for digestion. It is especially helpful before eating a meal. I don't like that. Is it because he's gonna eat me and not in a sexy way? He put his cup down on the table and stared at me quietly for a moment. Mealtime was still a long ways away. What is he preparing his digestion for? But now wasn't the time to think about that. First things first, I decided to ask about Amber. I have a question to ask about a previous handler. What kind of question? Do you recall anyone named Amber? I see your eyes shifting. I'm not sure. I was assigned many handlers. I don't remember if anyone was named Amber. According to the company records, there was a person assigned to you about 5 days ago. I haven't heard anything about it before. I didn't know if my handler had been changed or not. No one has been here for a few days. It was only when you came today did I learn that there was a change in handlers. There's no way. I thought I could find out more clues as I was talking to Finn. Is it possible that Amber was assigned to these monsters and then suddenly vanished before she even met him? When will we start the interview? He broke my train of thought with his question. I didn't realize that I was deep in thought and he was waiting for me to begin. Fine, let's do this job first and make a plan later. Anyway, if I want to be able to keep looking for Amber, I need to keep doing what the company asked me to do. Even though he said he didn't know anything, I wondered if I might be able to get any sort of clue from him anyway. I checked Finn's interview paperwork. The paperwork also included a consent form too. From what I gathered, this company controls monsters against their will. So why would they need a monster's consent? I started to read off the list one by one. Do you agree to stay only within the area authorized by your handler? Are there occasionally monsters who try to escape? I can understand why. Yes, I agree. Despite me being puzzled by the question, he agreed without hesitation. He seemed like he wasn't in his right mind. I didn't understand the reason, but since he said it's okay, I guess I don't have to worry about it. The moment I went to ask the next question, he asked me something. Suppose I did decide to leave the authorized area, how will you stop me? I can't. I'm like 5'3". That strange question made me stare at him. Shouldn't someone usually ask questions before they give consent? I was going to, but I must have forgotten. He said he forgot to ask, but it seemed like he was lying. His question made me anxiously conjure up the worst case scenario in my head. I'm Finn's current handler, so if he causes any kind of problem, the responsibility would fall to me. While I was worrying over my responsibility, I could see his expression gradually become more cold. It seemed like he wasn't patiently waiting for my response, but rather enjoying my discomfort. I'll pick this one. I would tie you up. We'd have to see. If you were to escape, I would have to put some restraints on you. He laughed as if he was satisfied with my answer. It didn't seem like he took me for a threat at all. I mean, look at me. I'm not much of a threat. He looked like he welcomed it. There's a lot of different ways. What makes you choose that? Is that the kind of activity you enjoy the most? More than enjoying it, what other way is there to control you? Is there another way? Finn smiled a suspicious smile. Today, that's a secret. After he answered, I heard a strange sound. Is he purring? It sounded like a happy purring cat. And the sound, was it coming from Finn? In any regard, he didn't answer me properly. If we keep getting sidetracked like this, it's going to be hard to continue the interview. I decided not to ask him any more about it. I read the next one. Do you agree to needing my full permission to meet with other staff at this facility? Yes, I agree. He also agreed without hesitation to this statement too. Wouldn't it be annoying if you had to call me every time you need me? Actually, the more I thought about it, the more cumbersome it seemed. If I'm investigating other places and he calls on me, every little thing is gonna get in my way. That condition means that only you have the authority to engage with me. If you don't want anyone else to see me, it's possible for you to refuse it. I couldn't understand why it was worth it to give authority to me like this. Why are you giving this kind of authority to me? I'm only an employee and an interviewer to you. You aren't my property, so I don't see the reason why you need me to agree to this. When I said the word property, Finn fidgeted a bit, almost like he didn't want to miss a chance. If I become your property, would that mean that you wouldn't want anyone else to see me but you? I asked Finn if he could become my property. Aren't you this company's property? No, absolutely not. I don't belong to anyone, as of yet. Just giving a dangerous monster to an average civilian like me. I was even hired without any qualifications. I don't understand it at all. Can I have you if I want you? The moment I asked that question, I was surprised how strange it sounded. Whoever heard it could get the wrong idea. Look at him, he's so happy. Yes, of course. You can have me if you want me. Completely. Finn looked as if he had some sort of goal in mind. I thought I must be misunderstanding the situation, but I guess it's pointless to think about it. I read the next one. Will you give up your right to resist physical punishment from your handler? Yes, of course. What? There are times when I start to use my own strength to control Finn. I don't think I have enough strength to restrain a monster on my own. Yeah, absolutely not. Look at him. He's huge. I think I won't have enough strength to restrain a monster on my own. Finn, you're listening and answering properly, right? It doesn't say how you'll be punished. Are you really agreeing to give up your rights like this? Aren't you the one who decides the details? No matter what method you use, I agree to be physically punished by you. But I asked the reason why. Why are you so eager to give up the right to resist? And why are you giving that right to me? As you're aware, I'm not human. And I'm a lot stronger than you. I am aware of that, actually. And you're in a position of managing me. I don't want to go against you, but if I were to, you couldn't control me with just any ordinary method. It looked like he was imagining what kind of unique methods could be used to control him. Just for a moment, he smiled delicately. Somehow, it felt like he had a thirst for something. It looked like there was a hint of eagerness in his eyes. Every time my emotions were shaken, Finn seemed elated. I started reading the next line. Do you agree to having your sensations corrected by your handler? What? Of course. The question list seemed a bit strange. What do they mean by correcting senses? I turned the page over, but I couldn't find any more information about it. It seemed like there's something written about emotional research, but not anything regarding researching sensations. What is sense correction? Just what kind of experiments is this facility conducting? This facility doesn't conduct any experiments on me. It's merely stating that my sensations will be left solely up to you. It's quite simple to understand. For example, if you wanted to block my vision, you'll be allowed to cover my eyes. When I expressed my confusion as if to calm me down, he added, Don't worry, it's nothing dangerous like how you're thinking. The more I talked to Finn, the more I started to feel like the danger he possessed was different from the other kinds. I wonder if my thoughts from before were right. The thought that this isn't an ordinary interview. Just why in the world is this a question that I have to ask and record? If you don't like covering someone's eyes, then what do you prefer? I did have an answer come to mind, but it seemed like he would take it the wrong way. I meant it for the sake of safety and as a handler. I didn't mean anything else besides that. I ruminated on that thought and then answered. I would use a kind of physical pain. If you were to threaten me or anyone else, then you should receive some kind of painful control. Since I'm the one responsible for your behavior, Finn's breathing became slightly rough. Alright, freak. But I mean, same. Finn's breathing became slightly rough. You're very strict. His words didn't seem to be directed to me as his handler. I read the next one. Do you give permission to your handler to solve any physiological needs you may have? I must have read that wrong. We had to go this far in order to control him. Yes, I agree. Finn had agreed, but it didn't look like he was in his right mind. Why in the world is this kind of thing needed? Giving this kind of authority isn't a little... Just what can I do for this one? He answered in a shaky voice. You can do more. A lot more than you think. I asked him what I could do. For example, handling when I can eat or sleep, of course. Also handling any instinctive impulses that I may have. Yeah, I bet you like that, you freak. Guiding me to the right time to release my impulses. Oh, Jesus. This is all to give me a safe existence. Me just checking the job list, can I just see where in the job duties it says jorking off monster? Do I get paid extra? Me negotiating my salary when I fully well know that I would do it for free. He recited the word safe, but it felt like there was a different meaning to it. Is this really about safety? He gave me an easygoing smile and waited for the next consent statement. With an uneasy heart, I continue reading. Do you agree to be permanently registered as the handler's toy or dog? What? I was so surprised that I dropped my pen. What kind of research is this? He's gonna say yes. Just thinking about it gave me goosebumps. I tried my best to deny it, but I think my suspicions were right. Compared to my surprise, Finn looked at me like nothing was wrong. Even from earlier in the interview, it seemed that he already knew what would be asked. He didn't look surprised by the interview questions at all. He accepted it all very naturally. If that is the case, then this might be a trap that he set up. If that's what this is, then how could he have manipulated the documents while being trapped in here? Why are you acting like that? He shamelessly asked me in a calm voice. I was thoroughly confused, but it seemed like if I got too wrapped up in him, it would be hard to escape. I used my strength to calm my voice and answer him in a professional tone. It seems like there's a mistake on the questionnaire. I'll go to the office and check the documents again. I stood up from my seat. He wasn't surprised at all by the denial and spoke calmly. Is someone else's name besides mine written there? No, it's not that. It's just that the question is strange. If the document has my name on it, does it make it mine? If it really is mine, do you need to go through all the trouble of double checking it? Yeah? I don't want you to be inconvenienced by me. He spoke smoothly, but there seemed to be a heaviness hidden in his words. He said it for my benefit, but I knew that he was being hypocritical. If you want to continue the interview, I'll let you know some good information. While I was figuring out what to do, he unexpectedly spoke. It's about that person Amber you were talking about before. You said you didn't know her. What? Why are you saying that now? Sorry, just seemed like the only thing you're interested in. We're currently in the middle of an interview. You should focus on me. So I pretended not to know about them. You little shit! What are you gonna do? Are you gonna quit interviewing me? Or do you wanna hear a clue about Amber? Alright, let's continue this time. He said he didn't know when I asked earlier, and now he's saying he's gonna give me information. It's suspicious, but there's no reason to ignore his offer. I let out a sigh. Alright, since I'm not going anywhere, tell me what you know. A wise choice. He smiled. Actually, a person named Amber asked me to deliver a message. That sounds important. Why did you withhold that? She told me to deliver it secretly to a person named Yinny. If there was something like that, he should have said something the moment I mentioned Amber. I was pissed, but I held it back. If I got angry, it seemed like he would withhold the information about Amber from me. Where is that message? You'll have to research my body yourself to find it. Oh, great. He's hidden it where the sun doesn't shine. If I move, it seems like you'll get scared. I don't want to do anything to frighten you. Yeah, that's the real excuse, huh? And shouldn't you check to make sure I'm not carrying anything dangerous? You are dangerous. You're the danger. He told me he wanted me to check for my own sake, but his behavior told another story. His words were all brazen and cunning. Please, find it yourself. It's alright. I'll let you touch wherever you want. Yeah, I bet you will. His intentions were obvious, but I couldn't refuse. Finn was setting conditions that I couldn't refuse, and was cunningly benefiting from them. He was gripping my weaknesses, but it didn't look like he was going to let go. Yeah, I'll grip something else of his. I thought about it for a minute, but eventually took a step towards him. Alright, sit down. Well, can I sit here? Looking at him up close, I saw something white and long hanging from above his hips. Is that a tail? Well, his tail was wagging to and fro as if he was happy. I tried not to pay attention to the movement, but I still noticed it. It looked like an animal's tail, but there was no leather or fur. There was only bone. Yeah, speaking of bone. Shut up, Yiddy. Just what in the world is he? He's my boyfriend, that's what he is. As I looked him over, I could see his face was turning slightly red. Where should I check? Check the choker. Hello? I decided to check his choker. At first I used a finger, and then I scanned the space between the choker and the neck with my fingers. Every time I moved my finger, he flinched. It tickles. He swallowed a breath. Whether it tickled or if it was for another reason, he tried not to make a sound, thank God. Felt his throat tighten under my fingers every time he swallowed. Is it because he has a big body? No, I don't think that's the reason. Every time his throat tightened, it became a little difficult to touch him. Relax, will you? It's making it uncomfortable. I felt the pulse in his neck speed up. That could be, but it's a sensitive area. If it's making you like this, then why are you letting me do it? Feeling his pulse racing also made my heartbeat speed up as well. And there was nothing inside his choker. Just as I was about to search elsewhere, I noticed a hook on the choker. The hanging metal reflected the light. Where's this hook? He smiled mischievously when I asked. I felt his tail that was now touching my thigh start to tremble. What do you think it is? It looked like a special choker design. Like you could hang something. As I was fiddling with the hook, I stopped immediately when I realized. No way, is this a leash? Exactly. He's so happy about it. With a trembling hand, I tried to hook my finger around the ring. It was extremely high quality and made of strong material. If you were to pull roughly, it'd be hard to break it. It's good to use as a leash for pulling as well. He looked like he was longing for something. I couldn't pinpoint if he was longing for what I thought he was, or if he had a more primal craving in mind. I'll just yank it, Yinny. Desire your feeling. Show me everything mixed in with those impulses. I want to taste everything until there's no drop left. I want it so bad I can't handle it. Yes, you can. Sit there. Shush. Do my examination. Check his coat. That is not checking his coat. I put my trembling hands on his chest. He let out a purr like he was a happy cat. When I touched near his heart or further away, I could feel it racing. Quickly beating pulse also made my heart race. I felt his strong muscles through his clothes. His body was great. I somehow ended up admiring his body. Suddenly I felt very shy about my actions. I'm searching for the note. Why am I touching other places? I compose myself and start searching the outside. Your hands are quite friendly. Yeah. I prefer it more rough though. Oh, shush! Don't say strange things and just be still. When I scolded him, his breathing became more labored and his gaze appeared full of desire. You can touch more passionately. I want to experience who you really are. I feel it every time your hand touches me. Your confusion and hesitation and your anticipation. If I tell you I can feel them, will you continue to deny them? You have my permission. All your feelings into me. I enjoy all your emotions. Check his pants? If it's a written message, it must be in his pocket. Is that a note in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? I can't say this every single video. I move his tail out of the way of his thigh. I saw him shudder when I touched it. I start trying to check his pocket. He wiggled as if he was ticklish. Every time I moved my hand, I heard a low sound as if he was enjoying it. I think he's just happy with everything that I do. Every time I move my hand, there's nothing there. I checked inside his pocket, but there was nothing there. He made a disappointed sound at my reaction. It's not that obvious. You can feel around deeper for it. It seems like you just want to get touched. He shook his tail like I had given the correct answer. He never requested anything so explicitly. He kept his eyes fixed on me as if he was only giving authority to me. You massive hoe! I recognized his behavior and deliberately took my hand away. He quietly looks at me as if I had abandoned him. Finn started to get restless. He wraps his tail around my thigh and pulls me in. Why are you stopping? Think about it. If you give up like this, you can't get what you want. Don't stop. Don't you want to do this too? Well, I want to find my friend. I say in denial as I very much want to do this too. Show yourself to me. Or would you like me to beg? Actually, yeah, that'd be good. Do it. That's the case. I'll show you just how much I can beg. It is he kneels on the floor and just goes, please, 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 instead of doing anything like attractive. Touch his tail. He can't hide a message inside his tail, but I just want to touch it. I grabbed his long tail. The moment my hand touched it, he jumps in surprise. He tries his best to suppress it, but a low groan erupts from his mouth. He didn't push or refuse me. Just where are you touching, you pervert? Hey! What? That's my most sensitive place. Oh, sorry! If it wasn't you, then I'd be angry if another person touched it. He seemed really happy about it. His tail was really hard. Yeah, I'm sure that's not the only thing that's hard. His tail felt strangely soft like velvet. Oh, that's cute. As I swept over the tail, his breathing became deeper and heavier than before. The end of his tail temptingly tickled me. Alright, search is complete. No matter how much I searched, I couldn't find anything. Did you lie to me? Strange, is he really hiding it on his body? Finn, there's nothing there. I searched your whole body, but I didn't find anything. Tell me the truth. Where is the message that Amber left me? Finn slowly looked at me, and he pushed his wrist towards me. You still haven't checked here. You had to check more carefully, right? Show me the bracelets on both of his wrists. I sigh and start checking both of them. After checking, I found other hooks dangling from the bracelets. I recalled the fact that he also had hooks on his choker too. No way, is this to hang a chain? I could see him brazenly smile like he knew what I was asking. If you see it, how about doing it the next experiment? If you want to, bring the chain you like the most. You can use my choker or you can use my bracelets, whatever you prefer. Finn's finger temptingly moved towards me and touched my hand. It didn't hurt, but the touch of his long fingernail excited me. I was seeming to forget all of reality. In order to bring myself back, I quickly decided to check inside his bracelet. There was a paper cleverly hidden inside it. It was in a place that was hard to reach, unless I put my finger as deep as I could. It was a lie that he had forgotten where he had put it. As soon as I reached the paper, I pulled away from him. Suddenly, with a thud, one of the lights shattered. Seems you found it. Congratulations. The quarantine room was dark and I couldn't see an inch in front of my face. From that moment, I didn't hear Finn's voice in front of me. I heard it from behind me. I froze in surprise and he didn't miss his chance. Oh, hello. I couldn't move a muscle. I was overwhelmed by the gaze I felt behind me. He's huge. He's massive. I felt his breath in my ear. Now we'll finish the interview today as you wish. I'm really fond of you. He hugged me from behind. I had a feeling you were going to become my mistress from the moment I saw you. He rubbed his face into the nape of my neck and breathed in my scent. I don't know why you're assigned to any other monster besides me. I can know everything about you. You didn't meet anyone else. You came to me first, right? A good choice. You can feel only me. Yearn for only me and hear only me. The fear you feel right now too, looking at me while your heart is racing. Make everything just for me. Not anyone else. No, make it all just for me. I agreed to it, yes, because I am a big hoe. Good. Today was as good as I anticipated. I'm so happy that you're my handler. I felt him pet my hand, the hand that had the message from Amber in it. You can take this present when you leave. You'll come back again tomorrow, too? I'll be waiting for you. The moment I tried to answer, he covered my eyes with his hands. The moment I tried to scream, he put his hand down. What appeared in front of me was not Finn's room, but the hallway. He had sent me out of his quarantine room. How was that possible? My whole body shook as I leaned against the wall. My heart was racing, and I couldn't seem to calm down. Somehow the strength of my hands came back and I felt the paper between my fingers. I tried to take a deep breath. Alright, let's check the message. With shaking hands, I look at the paper he gave me. Can you imagine if it's not actually a message and it's just him and he drew I don't know, like a wimwam on it? Everything about Amber was a lie. I saw that and my brain stopped functioning. Rage paralyzed my ability to think. I roughly tried to tap my employee keycard on the door scanner, but the door wouldn't open. God damn it! This manipulative little shit. There was an error sound along with a message on the screen. Only one interview is possible per day. I stood in the center of the hallway with a tightened fist. I stared hard at the quarantine door. What a total bastard. I'm gonna solve this the next time I see him. Finn is cute. I was surprised by the situation, but I didn't hate it. I shouldn't be doing all this now, but I feel like his actions touched something inside me. My head was telling me something was dangerous about the situation. It was giving me a warning. Contrary to that warning, a strange passion was growing in a part of my heart. The displeasure of being played around with should come first, but strangely it didn't. I couldn't get the image of that giant monster wagging his tail whenever I touched him out of my head. The eyes that were looking at me like I was his mistress. It was pretty cute. My work still isn't finished. Finn wasn't the only monster to investigate. I started in the direction of the next monster. Go to Jack. I'm assuming when it said only one interview is possible per day, it means one per monster. It was time to examine Jack. What do I do if he acts strange too? Ah, no. Even if he acts strange, I can't stop my searching now. I checked the map roughly sketched in my notes. Jack's quarantine room was far away from Finn's, but I was still able to find Jack's rooms easily. I tapped my employee keycard to the recognition sensor and heard the door open. I pulled the door handle and looked around inside. I soon became overwhelmed by the large presence inside the room. Jack was sitting on a chair inside. When we both locked eyes, he softly and quietly stood up. Jack placed a hand over his chest and bowed to greet me. It's a pleasure to meet you. I presume you are my main handler. He spoke in a low voice. I was waiting several days for you to make an appearance. What made you take so long after being assigned as my handler? I just started today. I realized something as soon as he posed that question. Seems that the monsters have no idea about the handlers assigned to them. That might not have been me that you were waiting for. I'm the new employee that started today. Oh, he suddenly became quiet. Then he politely commented, seems that the interview order got mixed up. Did you by any chance see Finn first? How'd you know about that? I have a very good sense of smell. Oh, sorry. He softly chuckled. However, I noticed a hint of unexplainable dissatisfaction on his face. That rude bastard didn't bother you too much, I hope? That guy is so... He's an untamed animal. Jack held back what he really wanted to say and let out a sigh. No, I'm sorry. I fear as if I have spoken too harshly. He stood quietly and thought for a minute. Something seemed off, but then he spoke to me again. In any regard, you'll be my main handler, correct? Could you please come in? He approached me slowly. The closer he came, the more I realized just how overwhelmingly huge his body was. I was so surprised by his stature that I took a step back. He stopped right away. I'm sorry if I frightened you. It's not my intention to make you afraid of me. I promise, I will never do any harm to you. He bowed slightly forward and extended his hand for me to take. His hands were larger and a bit sharper than a normal human hand. Take Jack's hand. I stared at his outstretched hand in surprise. The shape resembled a human's, but the texture and color didn't resemble a human hand at all. Just what is he trying to do? I placed my hand in his. Jack then grasped my hand with his large one. He carefully moved my hand as if he was trying to show that he wasn't intending on hurting me. His touch was polite, but it felt like I couldn't reject it. While holding my hand, he led me to around the front of the table. Is he trying to be more polite to me because I'm a human? When I tried to take my hand back, he released his grip without hesitation. It felt like it wasn't through my own free will that I was freed from his grip, but rather it was Jack's own choice to release me. Please, have a seat. I have a feeling we'll enjoy a long chat together. You'll tire yourself out if you keep standing like that. He pulled out a chair for me. Well, he's gentlemanly and cute, I say as I get deceived. As I went to sit down, Jack took a seat in the chair across from me. Before the interview started, I had something I needed to ask him. Aside from me, have you seen the previous handler? You're the only one I've seen after being assigned a new handler. I don't know, I saw that eye shift. What was that silence about? You never heard of anyone named Amber before? That is correct. This is the first time I am hearing about a previous handler named Amber. His behavior was suspicious, but I had no definitive reason to keep pressing him about Amber. There's no reason to keep asking him about something he doesn't know about. Shall we conduct the interview now? At his question, I looked down at my documents. Alright, let's think about it while I interview him. I checked the papers I was given about interviewing Jack. I was so wrapped up in the documents I couldn't stay alerted to what was going on around me. While I had my eyes fixed on Jack's documents, I had inadvertently set my employee keycard on top of the table. Hey! And by the time I lifted my head, my keycard was in Jack's hands. He smiled as he fiddled with the card. It is not a good habit to carelessly leave precious items around. I will hold on to this for the duration of our interview to give you incentive to focus. Hey! Give me back my stuff! Since we both know you cannot leave without it, I'll be sure to keep it safe and not lose it. I thought he was a gentleman, but it seemed like I misinterpreted his behavior. The monster stole my employee keycard right in front of my face. Give it back to me. I reached out my hand for him to return it, but he ignored my request and put my employee keycard deep inside his chest pocket. Do not fret. I promise to return it to you once we have completed our interview, but only under the condition that you do not think about running away. Once the interview is finished, I will return it to you. His behavior made me straighten my expression. It seemed like he was just putting on an act, and that he wasn't the gentleman he was pretending to be. Thoughtlessly stealing my card from me was not something a gentleman would do. It was at that moment that I recalled some information on the documents. Interview objective: teach the monster human emotions and study its emotions. Come to think of it, it was foolish of me to think that a monster would act in a rational manner. The being in front of me was not a human but a monster. Whether he escorts me, whether he wears human clothing, it doesn't matter. A monster is still a monster. It suddenly occurred to me that pushing our standards and judging monsters trapped inside like a confined cell like this was not something that humans should be doing. It's possible that he's trying to get a reaction out of me in order to collect data about human emotions. I sighed and retracted my hand. Do whatever you want, but as soon as this interview is finished, you must return my card to me. I picked up my pen again. The only person who's going to become exhausted from his childish behavior is me. Once I'm finished with the task at hand, all I have to do is focus my attention on finding out what happened. Whatever the research goal is, it isn't my responsibility to fix a monster's behavior. Jack looked surprised by my unexpected behavior. His look of surprise turned into one of amusement at the fact that I didn't react how he expected. That look of surprised amusement slowly turned into a focused stare. It made me feel overwhelmed with nervousness to have an unfamiliar monster staring me down. I decided to finish the work as quickly as possible and get out of there. I began to recite the questions on the documents one by one. How is your consciousness at the moment? Are you having any auditory or visual hallucinations? He thought carefully about my question. It was the question about the clarity of his senses. A kind of question you could answer quickly, but he didn't answer it right away. He looked as if he was mentally calculating what answer to give me. I'm not sure. I'm not experiencing any visual or auditory stimulation, but there is some olfactory stimulation. Compared to what he had said, there was no smell in the quarantine room at all. What smell are you referring to? I'm talking about your scent. Do I smell? My scent. I was so shocked I put my research coat up my sleeve to my nose to smell it, but I couldn't smell anything. He must have thought my behavior was funny because he let out a chuckle. I did not say the scent was bad, did I? I apologize if I came across as rude. It was not my intention. I meant to compliment you, but I must have misspoke. Apologized right away, said it was a compliment, but I couldn't feel any sincerity coming off of his words. I showered and put on a fresh change of clothes before I came to work. There was no way I would give off any smell. The more I thought about it, the more it seemed strange. Did Finn scent me like an alpha? It seemed like he's trying to make me flustered on purpose. Well, it's not working because he said I was stinky. But what in the world is his reason for doing this? Any comments unrelated to our interview will be considered an obstruction of my duties. I purposely answered in a dry tone after realizing what kind of game he was playing, but it seemed like my response amused him instead. What are you going to do if I hinder your duties? Will I be arrested by you? It's my first time to see a police officer with a scared and trembling voice. After he said that about my voice, I realized just how my voice sounded. I'm a what now? I wasn't trying to show him just how scared I really was. As I tried to soothe my nerves, I looked over the checklist and thought about which box to check. He watched me to see which box I would mark off. He watched me check a box and waited for his chance to comment. Monster reactivity checklist. Counter questioning or using psychological pressure. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Good. Can I ask you just one question? What is it? Did you check that box because I gave you a counter question? Yeah. Or is it because you felt psychologically pressured by me? You haven't answered any of my questions properly since we started this interview. I'm also not going to respond. Are you saying I can interpret it however I wish? Do as you wish. Really? I think you're going to regret giving me that answer. His mouth curled into a wicked smile. I changed my mind about trying to understand Jack's mind. It wasn't because he didn't know about human standards and was being rude by mistake. It just seemed to me that he was doing it on purpose. But it didn't mean that he was simply just being rude either. It didn't feel like he was wary or hostile towards me. It felt like he had some sort of goal in mind when he was toying with me. The more I spoke with Jack, the more confused I became. I read the next box on the checklist. Do you feel that urge to physically threaten your handler? I'm not sure, but I promised earlier. I will not harm you. I'm not talking about the promise you made earlier. I'm referring to your feelings at this current moment. Have you ever experienced playing with a slinky when you were young? Why is he talking about slinkies all of a sudden? Yes, I had one and I played with it. It is a toy that you can easily break, is it not? Once it is tangled, it is hard to fix. No matter how hard you try, it never goes back to its original shape. Relationships are the same. I do not wish to tangle our relationship. So that is why I cannot answer that question. Not yet, at least. Physical threat checklist. Non-threatening. That's what I'm gonna put. Do I seem like a safe person to you? I feel like he was offended by that. Not safe, but not a threat to me at this current moment. I see. There are other ways to threaten someone aside from physically. Are you just unaware of it, or are you completely avoiding that fact? Shush. This part of the checklist is referring to physical threats and non-physical threats. I'm checking this box for signs of physical threats only. Do not misunderstand. He gave me an unreadable smile when I said that. The more I seemed to lose my cool, the more unreadable his expression became. It seemed like he was savoring the fact that he was getting under my skin. It seemed like my instincts were slowly recognizing just what exactly Jack was. Is he intentionally bothering me in order to get something out of it? I recalled what was written on Jack's profile. They didn't write, "If you lose control, you'll be classified as prey for no reason." Is he trying to devour me? But if he really was trying, he would have swallowed me whole by now. I read the next category out loud. Do you feel any discomfort with the lighting or temperature in this quarantine room? I prefer the lights to be a bit dimmer, but that is all. Well, I'm not turning them down, because you're being mean. The room appears to be rather bright right now. I immediately felt suspicious about his comment. The lighting appears to be fine right now. Is it because there's some difference between human and non-human eyes? Then how dim would you like the lights to be? I would like to be able to control it for myself. No, if I had control over it, I would usually adjust it to an appropriate setting. However, whenever needed, I would like to adjust the lighting to be dark enough to see only the other party's silhouette. Another party? Isn't this quarantine room meant only for one monster? His lips lifted into a quiet smile. Yinny, you're forgetting the other monster. The one in his pants. That's right, it's only meant for one. Has anyone tried trespassing in here before? Not trespassing per se, but as you do see, I currently have a visitor. I had no idea what he was getting at. I must have appeared stupid to him because it took me a minute to register what he was trying to say. Are you saying you need to dim the lights whenever I come here? Why? Dimming the lights has many advantages. So we can conceal our expressions in any detailed shapes, so we can feel free to escape from our usual self. Darkness provides a kind of safe space. Would it be rude to say that I'm curious about who you are when the lights are off? I can't give you any authority over the lighting in this room. I don't even know if it would be possible in the first place. Environmental compliance checklist. Monster tries to use the environment to their advantage. Bingo. Seems you have me all figured out. That is correct, that is correct. I'm completely content to be isolated in this room here with you. I was becoming more and more certain about him. It was as if a cat was toying with a mouse, knocking it left and right with its paw before it consumed it. Are you writing something in the special notes section? What are you planning on writing? I'm gonna write that you're a cheeky monster. His expression hardened for a moment, but soon after his shoulders shook and he burst into a quiet fit of laughter. Cheeky monster, I rather like that. Well, you shouldn't. Go ahead and write that, but you should know that if this cheeky monster did not make a promise to you earlier, you would be in real danger. I also hope that you're aware that that promise could be broken at any time. There's not much of a promise, is it? I put my pen down. I didn't want to talk to him anymore. There were still interview questions left to ask, but that didn't matter. I'm gonna stop the interview here. I decided to stop the interview prematurely, but Jack didn't seem surprised in the least. Just what are you trying to do here? Why are you treating me like this? Tell me honestly if there's something you're looking to get from me. He laughed quietly as if he was mocking me. That is correct, I do want something from you. I cannot tell you everything now, but I am alright with giving you a hint. Every emotion you express satiates my needs. Your fear and confusion are especially satisfying to me. I looked at him as if he had gone mad. It is fine to conclude the interview now, but just how are you planning to escape? The door leading to the hallway will not budge an inch without this employee keycard. Jack slowly leaned back on his chair. I liked Finn more. Bring it back. He took my employee keycard out of his pocket and fiddled with it. The sleek plastic of the card reflected the light of the room. I did promise that I would return this to you. However, that was only after we finished our interview. The one who broke our promise first was you. Considering you broke our promise first, I will also be changing my conditions. Oh, what the hell? Jack rose from his chair and moved to the right side of me. On my left side there was a wall, and because of that he was able to block me from moving. He crossed his legs and whispered to me. I've been thinking about something ever since I saw you. About how much I want to take all your emotions for myself. His eyes were completely fixed on me. If you want your employee keycard back, your fear, excitement, and embarrassment, show them all to me. Show them only to me. I will be asking the questions this time. I want to bring out everything that is buried within you. What? I refuse your conditions. I don't wish to answer any more of these questions. I don't have any clue as to why I'm doing this. Give me my employee card now. I maintained my professional attitude when I spoke to him. Jack took a quiet breath. His face had a look of disappointment. He slipped his hand into his pocket and took out the card. You are quite a strict handler. I understand. I'll return it to you. Wait, is that all it took? He put my card down on top of the table. It is regrettable that you did not enjoy your time with me. He stood up and moved out of my way. Oh, sorry. If you ever happen to change your mind, feel free to return. You were quite a pleasure. However, if you continue to show disinterest in me, I'm not sure I can take it just quietly. I hope that you'll return before my patience runs too thin. I took up my employee keycard and got up as well. I opened the door and went out into the hallway. I don't have any time to waste. I didn't have any plans to play around with him further. I didn't even find anything out about Amber because I was stuck playing Jack's mind games. Without hesitation, I walked down the hall. Okay, alright, well, let's go back and actually acquiesce to his demands. If I consider it logically, I had to get out of here right now. His request is questionable and crazy, but I felt that if I continued this interview with Jack, my internal instincts buried deep somewhere inside me would be uncovered. I felt a thirst inside me, but I didn't know if I wanted to quench it or not. I responded to him with a nod. I gathered my interview items in a gentle manner, but I felt like I couldn't stop him even if I wanted to. It was at that moment that I saw my employee keycard inside his pocket. If I timed it right, I could take it right now. I moved my hand in the direction of his pocket. I tried to fish my employee keycard out. However, he already realized what I was planning. He put his hand over his pocket to block my movements. Blatantly trying to take it back, I see. Yes. What happened to that calm and highly educated person from before? I tried to pry his hand away from his pocket, but his hand was too strong. He softly removed my hand from trying to grab at his pocket. I answered your questions earlier with utmost sincerity. I would appreciate if you showed me the same level of cooperation. His hand didn't budge at all when I tried to swipe my card back. I felt that I was not strong enough to overpower him. Yeah, probably not really. This dude's like, what, 7'1"? Jack looked at the documents and spoke. Oh, what do we have here? Seems like there's some extra notes here. If you lose your control, you'll be classified as prey. Oh, how about that? Seems I've already made you lose quite a bit of it. That's what you think. I've taken your control. But since you still maintain your safety, you must trust that I'm not the animal that they made me out to be. Who's to say? You've already proven yourself to be the opposite of a gentleman. You're only playing the part of one. That's very surprising for me to hear. I'm doing my best to treat you with the utmost care. You stole my keycard. He skillfully twisted my pen between his fingers and spoke. This is the first question. During our short time together, has there been at least one time in which you have enjoyed yourself? There's a thin line between fear and excitement, you see. Which side are you on? I enjoyed it. I appreciate the honesty. Then, were you enjoying it simply because it was fun, or Were you taking pleasure in it for any other reason? I keep my mouth closed in embarrassment. It seems that your face has gone red. I've changed my mind about the lighting earlier. If the lighting was dark, I would miss the chance to see what kind of expressions you can make. Then for this category, I'm gonna mark it as yes. Ah, screw you! He then started writing on the documents. I was startled by him writing and tried to stop his hand. Why are you writing on my documents? He easily dodged my hand. It's alright, that's what you think. I'm the one who has to take responsibility for your actions. However, he seemed to be ignoring me, so I gave up. Next question. When you're in danger, does your body run cold or do you feel hot? I feel cold. After touching your hand earlier, the temperature felt quite high. Couldn't that just also mean that your hand is cold? That could be possible. I like it when my body temperature matches the other party. I hope that you could warm me up a bit. Oh, shush. What? Just what are you saying right now? He laughs at my shock and disbelief. I'm of course only teasing you. You have nothing to worry about. I will not do anything to you. Next question. Think back to when I stole your employee keycard earlier. Did you feel a bit of hopelessness, along with a tiny sense of relief? A strange sense of relief in being freed of all responsibilities. When you're in a state in which you cannot do anything yourself. I don't know, not knowing is alright. Since I will make you aware of your feelings later, it will take a lot of effort for me to figure out how to make you aware of your emotions. Since I'm not sure about your preferences yet, this time I will ask you for a deeper question. Hiding behind the title handler and leading the interview, or right now, while I have you blocked in, answering my questions and unable to escape, which is more accurately to what you desire. Let's speak right now. You know, I think I found out just what you like. I'm glad that your statement is bringing us closer to the truth. What truth? The truth? What truth? The truth that I'm a pervert? I think like everyone already knew. I will ask my final question. If I were to completely turn out the lights, what kind of reaction would I be able to see? Would you scream in terror? If not in terror, then would you let out a cry of excitement and arousal that you usually keep secret? Oh, excuse me? Dude, did you guys see that? Did you guys look at this guy? Look at him. Look at the audacity. Well, the moment I tried to answer, Jack snapped his finger. As soon as he did, the lights in the room turned off and were covered in darkness. I pushed my back up against the wall in surprise. As I did that, I felt him getting closer and closer to me. My eyes still hadn't adjusted to the light and I couldn't see him at all. As I fumbled in the darkness, I ended up putting my hands on his body. Oh, good job, Yinny. I felt him put his hands on the wall behind me, blocking me in. Because of that, I ended up being completely enclosed. A suffocating pressure felt like it was squeezing my chest. As if he had become darkness himself, he completely shrouded me in and blocked me from total escape. I'm quite enjoying your emotions. I felt his breath in my ear. He was so close I could feel his lips graze my ear. I felt goosebumps all over. Yinny, his low and soft voice reached all the way down to my bones. I can hear your heartbeat all the way from here. I could feel one of his fingers touch the nape of my neck. I instinctively held my breath. Fear, excitement, and a little bit of anticipation. You prepared all of this for me. Every little emotion all mixed in. He stopped talking for a moment and inhaled deeply. I really like you. So much so that I do not want anyone else to have you but me. Especially that bastard Finn. Okay, hang on a second. I've got two hands for a reason. I am proficient in dual wielding. So how about we all just, hang out with the three of us? The fact that that disgusting beast got to you first angers me so much I can hardly stand it. Cannot understand why him and I were both assigned to you. I want to keep you all to myself. I want all of your emotions to belong to me. Even just the thought of his scent lingering on you makes my blood boil. I have to rip his tongue out so he never uses it to tempt you again. I have to show him exactly what happens when you covet things that do not belong to you. Shall we make one more promise? No one else can touch you except for me. No one. Never show your quivering and heavy breaths to anyone else. Okay. Good girl. If you break this promise, I'll have to punish you. If you were to break it, I would not be able to act like a gentleman. He snapped his fingers and the lights turned on. Before I knew it, Jack was backing away from me. I tried to calm my shaking hands. It was then I showed him the result of my revenge. While he was distracted, I swiped my employee keycard from his pocket. He looked surprised when he saw it dangling from my hand. As promised, I'll be taking this. He gave a big laugh. I should have guessed. Seems I cannot let my guard down with you. You were grabbing at me so passionately, I had thought you wanted me badly. Really, the more I get to know you, the more I want you. Alright, you win this time. Will you come again tomorrow? Of course you will. We've gotten closer now. You do not know what I'm capable of if you do not find your way back to me. You must take that into consideration. I'll be waiting for you here. Jack snapped his fingers again, and in that moment the room had changed into the hallway outside the quarantine room. I was so surprised that I felt my legs give way and I dropped to the hallway floor. I was somehow instantly teleported outside of Jack's quarantine room. How is it possible for him to just send me out like that? I lost all strength in my legs, but with great effort I managed to stand up. I organized my document with shaking hands and clipped them to the clipboard. Not only could I not do any investigating into Amber's disappearance, I also ended up getting swept up in Jack's mind games. Honestly, I liked it. In my mind, I know it isn't the time for this. But when he approached me and touched me, I felt an overwhelming pull of attraction. Yeah. My heart was racing so fast I could feel my veins pulsing against my skin. I finally finished both interviews. I need to go to the office and input the data I collected. And while doing that, I decided I need to come up with a plan. Alright, I want to check some other things though. What if I don't answer? Jack's gaze pierced through the dark room. We have come this far and you treat me like this. But you're already too late. You've already come a long way. It's too late to turn around. Okay, so it's just the same. Just the lines there that were a little bit different. I'm back in Finn's route. This time, I'm gonna not answer him. You're already too late. Are you finished playing Mistress and trying to run away now? From the beginning, I needed your permission, but now you need permission from me. Alright, and then he just chucks us out. I also just pop back into here to see what happens if we go to Jack first instead of Finn. So we get to this scene and Jack says, since I cannot catch the scent of another monster coming off of it, you must have come to me first. You do not know how happy that makes me. I do not understand why they would assign 2 monsters to you. However, that does not matter now, since I'm going to make you have eyes only for me. Should we make one more promise? Okay, and then that's all the same. And then we head to Finn. And then Finn says, he stared at me quietly for a moment after I'd sat down. He asked me a question, but it seemed like he already knew the answer. It seemed like he was asking me to check if his suspicion was right. Your face is quite red. Did something happen to you? I lift my hand to touch my face. My face is red. Must be because of shock. I thought I'd calm down, but I guess not. My face was red because Jack was doing weird stuff. And there was something that startled me earlier, that must be why. Did you happen to see Jack first? How'd you know that? His face twisted in dissatisfaction. I knew it. That bastard is a playboy. That nasty guy's hobby is playing with people to amuse himself. Even stealing another monster's things. It's a little too late considering you already met him, but be careful next time. Even if you think it's all fun and games, there are guys who will try to steal your heart. You didn't already fall for it, did you? I suddenly feel a sense of embarrassment come over me. In that moment, I saw a bit of strange excitement flash in his eyes. He looked like he was enjoying the wavering of my emotions. What's going on? What are you talking about? It's nothing like that. He smiled when I denied it. Oh really? That's a relief? Finn looked for a moment like he was enjoying something. I had no idea what he was savoring though. Alright, and then we skip forward to this scene and he says, I can know everything about you. Especially Jack. Seeing his depravedness before seeing me. If you see him first again, you'll bring his scent here with you. I'll rip him apart limb by limb and put him at your feet. So that's why you shouldn't pick him first again. You can only feel me, yearn for only me, and hear only me. The feeling you feel right now too. Looking at me when your heart is racing. Make everything just for me. Not anyone else, no. Make it all just for me. Alright, fine. Yeah, and then it ends there. However, one last thing to check. What happens if we refuse him? No, there's no way. I don't want to continue this any further. I strongly refused him. When I realized what all the list item contains, I became troubled and angry. I don't have time to play around with this. I don't want to cater to his disgusting tastes. What he said about Amber was suspicious too. He said he didn't know anything about it, so why is he telling me now? He was calm despite my refusal. Don't worry, I understand. I can wait as long as you want. If you change your mind, you can come back anytime. I'll wait, but if you make me wait too long, I'm not sure how long I can handle it. His persistent gaze followed me, but I ignored it and left the room. I fixed my disheveled clothes and began walking away. Alright, well, that is the end of day 1 of Reserve Table. I hope you guys like that. It's a very intriguing premise. I really like the fact that you have to balance both monsters, and I'm assuming that's going to come in a lot into the gameplay later once the dev updates like further days and everything. But I find it really cool that if you go to Finn first, something happens, or if you go to Jack first, something happens. That'll probably be really important deciding in who you end up with and who your biggest danger ends up becoming. So I think that's really, really cool. Finn and Jack are actually very interesting as well, because why are the 2 monsters locked up, and like where are they from, and what's their purpose? Like what is going on? There's so much like mystery and like a big conspiracy surrounding the place that you're working at, including where your roommate has disappeared to. And then I'm very excited to find out more about it, like other monsters besides Finn and Jack that like other handlers deal with. What is going on? Like what are the origin of the monsters? There's so much lore that I really want to know, and I can't wait to find out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this playthrough with me. If you like this, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one, and let me know in the comments below if you prefer Finn or Jack more. If you'd like to check out the other dialogue options and explore the game yourself, feel free to check it out. I've linked in the description box below. And if you would like to support me on Patreon, my Patreon is linked down below as well. Anyway, thank you so much again. Until next time. Take care.